Hello and welcome to this video on what is a Scrum Master. The objectives of this video are to first define what is a Scrum Master, and then also to describe the Scrum Master roles, the managing impediments as a Scrum Master, and is the Scrum Master a dedicated role or not. So let's begin. The Scrum Master is the owner of the process. The Scrum Master promotes Scrum and helps everyone understand it and work together. If things do not go well, the Scrum Master guides the team and helps them with their difficulties. For example, the Scrum Master removes any impediments preventing the team from progression. The Scrum Master serves the team, unlike the project manager who tells the team what to do. A Scrum Master is one of the three main people in a Scrum project. At a very high level, the Scrum Master has three main responsibilities. 1. They're responsible for promoting and supporting Scrum as defined in the Scrum Guide. Scrum Masters do this by helping everyone understand Scrum theory, practices, rules, and values. This includes people outside of the Scrum team and in the wider organization. 2. The Scrum Master is a servant leader for the Scrum team. They're not part of a hierarchy, barking orders or demanding return on investment. Instead, they're taking a more holistic approach to work, offering services to others while promoting a sense of community and supporting a shared decision-making power. They help those outside the Scrum team to understand which of their interactions with the Scrum team are helpful and which are not. They help everyone change these interactions to maximize the value created by the Scrum team. And 3, the Scrum Master also removes impediments to the development team's progress. The Scrum Master may remove the impediments themselves or have the development team do it. One thing that a Scrum Master should be careful to stay away from is over-evangelizing, namely constantly pointing out to their team members when they are doing Scrum wrong. This is counterproductive and does not fit into the description of what the Scrum Master should be doing. Rather, the Scrum Master should catch people doing things right, and then, in the spirit of the best practice teachers, they should show them how things can be done better. The Scrum Master has several roles in the project. The Scrum Master serves the product owner by making sure that the goals, scope, and product domain are clear to everyone on the Scrum team. They offer techniques and tools to manage the product backlog effectively and help the Scrum team know that when there is a need to keep the product backlog items clear and concise. There are project management tools like Kanban boards and reporting features to keep Scrum teams on track. The Scrum Master also knows product planning in an empirical environment. Naturally, the Scrum Master is adept at being agile and can practice agility. They know agile as a way of approaching a project and can set up meetings as needed to direct or pass on information about the process. While a Scrum Master is a crucial member of the Scrum team, they are not involved in planning the release. That's done by the product owner and the team. A Scrum Master doesn't manage. A Scrum team is self-organizing. In fact, a Scrum Master isn't responsible for the success of the project's result. Yet, without a Scrum Master, the whole thing would fall apart. The Scrum Master is the glue that holds the project together by facilitating, though not participating, in the daily stand-up meeting, one of the 4 Scrum ceremonies. They help the team maintain their burn-down chart and set up retrospective sprint reviews and sprint planning sessions. They also help the product owner by walking them through the more technical user stories and encourage collaboration between the product owner and the Scrum Master, the Scrum Manager. So every part of the Scrum process is being helped by the guidance of the Scrum Master. So a Scrum Master is like the mechanic, not driving the car, but making sure that it is in proper working order. So let's look at the 3 different roles that the Scrum Master has as shown in the screen. So Scrum Master, service to the product owner. The techniques for product backlog management, product planning in an empirical environment, arranging product backlog for maximum value, understanding the goals, scope, and domain, explaining the need for clear and concise product backlog items, and understanding the practicing agility. That's what the Scrum Master services to the product owner. Now let's look at the Scrum Master service to the development team. Coaching the development team on self-organization and cross-functionality, aiding the development team to create high-value products, removing impediments to the development team's progress, facilitating Scrum events that are requested or needed, coaching the development team in new organizational environments where Scrum is not fully adapted and understood. And the Scrum Master also services the organization. They do this by leading and coaching the organization on its Scrum adoption, planning Scrum implementation within the organization, helping employees and stakeholders understand and enact Scrum and empirical product development. In this capacity, the Scrum Master would lead change that increases the productivity of the team while working with other Scrum Masters to help foster Scrum throughout the organization, causing change that increases the productivity of the Scrum team, and working with other Scrum Masters to increase the effectiveness of the implementation of Scrum in the organization. Managing impediments as a Scrum Master. An impediment is anything that impedes or slows down the Scrum team's progress. The best way to deal with impediments is not to manage them, but to resolve them. In order to make sure no impediments get missed, a project manager will create an impediments backlog, an IBL. And these IBLs are physically created on either index cards or sticky notes and is on public display. This serves as a reminder and addresses questions that the stakeholders may ask about helping or improving performance. There are both internal and external impediments. External impediments are anything that are outside the influence of the Scrum team and that cannot be resolved for themselves. For example, a server not being up for the development and testing team to test their product. Internal impediments are anything that a Scrum team can influence and they can resolve for themselves. So is the Scrum Master a dedicated role? There is some discussion about how this is involved and the Scrum Master and if they should be in an actual dedicated role. It comes to the actual development work that's underway. One school of thought is that the Scrum Master should be exclusively dedicated to their role and not get buried in the day-to-day pressures, deadlines, and constraints that come from actually having to do the work themselves. Others feel as if the role described is basically may not consume 100% of their time and that they are available and that any leftover time can be devoted towards the development work. So there are pros and cons to this approach. If a Scrum Master is involved in development activities, they could find themselves in the critical path of a project that is underway. This means that when the going gets tough or deadlines are looming, they will most likely default to getting their own work done. And this is understandable based upon the pressure that's put upon that particular deliverable. But it could also lead the team to suffer during a time that they especially need someone filling the role of the Scrum Master. So the upside of a Scrum Master filling both roles is that the company may feel as if it is getting more for their money, but not having to invest in two people to fill the role. On the other hand, however, a person that is 100% dedicated Scrum Master can focus exclusively on the activities that have been mentioned. They are the person that constantly has the big picture in mind and is always looking ahead for what could be in the way of the project moving forward or what opportunities could be taken advantage of to bring the sprint to a more expeditious completion. So the downside of this approach is that there may need to be more resources applied to the project from a technical perspective and may cost the company additional money. If you like this video on what is a Scrum Master, go ahead and smash the like button. And if you want to see more videos on Scrum, Agile, on a lot of project management stuff, I do videos at least once a week, twice a week, maybe even 3 times in the future, we'll see. But I have a lot of project management videos coming your way and they're already up on my channel. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel and you can get those when they come out. Thank you.